Last Mint on Card Exhibition, I was really focused on doing these sort of Space Wars, Star Wars bootleg style figures like the Business Mandalorian and Mossy Wok, but this time around I really wanted to do something completely different. So Australian Band Regurgitator are one of my all-time top 10 favourite bands. They're one of the first bands that I ever saw live way back in 1998, I think it was, when I was just a sweaty little teenage punk. They're probably the band that I've seen live more than any other band. I've followed their career from the beginning to current day, and they just go from strength to strength, and they're just fucking sick, right? They're just an incredible live band. They've put out some amazing albums. They recorded an album in a bubble.
Band in a bubble. The band Regurgitator. Can they stand the pressure when we lock them in the bubble? A see-through recording studio built in Melbourne's Federation Square.
They mess with genres. They mess with style. They're just great. Pretty sure this album is the first time I ever heard the word. If you don't know Regurgitator, you might know them from this song. You might know this song. Possibly this song. Or maybe even this song. Fat cop, hey! Fat cop! But on their third album, Art, they had a song called Happiness, and the video clip had the band wearing kind of white shirts and ties, and they had computer monitors for heads, and I've always loved this video, so I decided I would make some action figures of one of my favourite bands, Regurgitator, specifically from the music video Happiness, and this is what I did. So what I started with was this figure here, which is the Mandalorian Grief Karga figure, and I already had one chopped up in pieces which I used to make this figure here, which was my Business Mandalorian figure. So here you have all those original parts. There's his chopped off head, his legs, arms and torso. Obviously I had to bastardize quite a bit because I wanted them to look like a suit, so they had lots of you know, belts and guns and things. I chopped all those off and smoothed out all the parts so that it would look normal. And the torso I filled in a lot of the gaps with some Milliput, and I sculpted in the tie and the collar, and then I sculpted the computer head completely from scratch. There I made these molds so that I could cast all of those individual parts, and from that you get a whole bunch of resin cast parts here. And then this is some of the half painted parts, so let's see if we can assemble a rough figure from the parts we've got here. So the final thing obviously will be painted and have magnetic articulation, but that's all the parts of the figure put together, and each of the corresponding parts has a little hole for the magnets that will stick it all together, and then it goes to the packaging. And this artwork was taken from the poster of the tour that they did to support this album. Put a whole bunch of Easter eggs to do with the band on the back for train spotters. So with the card backs, basically design them on Photoshop and get them printed out on a nice A3 piece of paper, and then they get wrapped around a card back for a comic book with some spray adhesive, and they end up kind of looking like that. Then they get trimmed up and they come out looking like that. Then I've got a few little gadgets that I use to round the corners and punch out a peg hole, and then they end up looking like this, so they can hang on a rack, yeah? And then I've got these clear blister bubbles that get glued on the front there to hold the figure, and these can actually open and close, so you can take the figure in and out. You can display it on card, or you can take the figure off and then put it back in if you want. So that's how I do my card backs. This is the sheet of Regurgitator faces that I ripped from the music video itself. Apart from Peter, who was not the drummer at the time and wasn't in the band, so he's not in that clip, so I had to make an alternative one for him. Just finished painting these, so I'm going to stick some faces on them and see how we go. I think with this first batch I'll actually put in 2 lots of heads so you can actually swap them out. Why not? The tales of the king, enthralled by the worldwide hype. Next page, things are getting better all the way. Seems another fucking take a blue. It's come to the point where I have to put some magnets in all the body parts now, and it's really hard to make sure that you're always putting the magnets in the right way, so I've done it like this, that all the ones that go in this way, all the ones that go in this way are for the limbs, all the ones that go in that way are for the torsos, so I know that they are corresponding. You know how it is when you got a box full of regurgitators. Each figure is now mint on card, packaged up with a alternative head and a little baggie. Time to send them off. There they are. First ever Regurgitator art toys. So here they are. The Regurgitator art toys based on the video clip for Happiness from the album Art by Regurgitator. Ben, Pete and Quan. Pete, I know technically you weren't in that music video because you weren't in the band yet, but it felt rude not to make an action figure of you since you've been in the band since forever. I hope you enjoy your computer headerization. Yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I think they turned out really fun. The packaging's really cool and kind of reminiscent of the album, of course. So if this video is out, it means there's a set of these currently on display as part of the Mint on Card 2 exhibition in the Dollhouse Gallery above This Is Not a Toy Store in Melbourne. They're going to be on display and for sale until August 23rd, 2024. There's going to be a few more sets maybe floating around in the future, who knows, but until then these are going to be super limited edition. I've only made a couple of sets. So I hope you like them, I hope the band likes them. If you're keen to check out more about Regurgitator, I'll put some links in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, keep it weird and never stop playing. Cue point.